My name is Amy. I'm a men's freelance golf designer. Before I get started on the video, I wanted to say if you have any questions on any of the terms that I'm using, I have a link below to a blog post on different terminology that's common in the apparel industry. It should help. So I wanted to talk about a common frustration that new brands have. So your first prototype comes in and it's not perfect. There's something wrong with it. So you did all the right things. You started with a tech pack. Again, if you don't know what that is, click the link below. You thought you picked a good factory, you thought you picked a good designer, but your first proto comes in and it's wrong. So why does this happen? Well, the good news and the bad news is that this is totally normal. It's just part of the process. So nothing in the apparel industry is an exact science. There's a lot of different places where things can kind of go wrong. First thing I'll talk about is pattern drafting. So a pattern being the piece of paper that is the shape of the panels of your garment that the factory uses to cut out the fabric that they then sew together. So if you based the measurements for your garment on a competitor sample, which is really common with new brands, those measurements that are in your tech pack are really good for telling the factory flat measurements. They're really good for telling them how long your shirt is, how long the sleeve is. What they're not good at is telling them how something curves. You can send your factory your physical sample that you reference to help them see the curve for themselves. I actually recommend that you do that, but it can only go so far. So the way something curves can drastically change the way something fits. And so this is just one of the ways that your product might come in a little different than you expected. Next thing is sewing. Sewing machines are operated by humans. So if someone's sewing your quarter zip, let's say, sews your sleeve, and they sew it, let's say, a 1/4 inch too small, they cut off like that much fabric when they're sewing, that is a 1/2 inch total that you've lost on, like, say, your sleeve opening. So that's really going to change the fit. Another thing is cutting. So in the sample room where your prototype is made, production is different. In production, the fabric's cut by a machine, but in the sample room, it's cut by hand. There's another place where your sample can grow or shrink based on human error. Measurements in your tech pack. This is another place where things can go wrong. I'll always remember a tech designer that I once worked with. Our factory had come back and told us that the measurement that we got for a stretched measurement for a waistband, so a stretch measurement meaning a measurement that you need to give for an elastic waist short, the factory came back and told me that the measurement that we had in our tech pack for that was wrong. So I went to our tech designer, I let him know what the factory said the measurement should be, and then I watched him as he stretched the short as far as he could next to his measuring tape until he got the same measurement as the factory. And then he looked at me and he said, "Sure." And we updated our tech pack to match what the factory said. He could have argued that his measurement was right, but the thing is neither measurement was actually wrong. So again, not an exact science. Measuring garments, especially like they stretch, they can skew, like if the shirt is skewed up or down, it can change the length here. There's a lot of different ways a measurement might be different than what the factory is getting. Fabric. So fabric is another thing. If your reference sample that you love the fit of has a slightly different fabric than the fabric you choose to go forward with, if it's more stretchy, if it's lighter, that can really change the way it fits if the fabric is not exactly the same. The factory might have also just missed something that you asked for. It's not ideal, but it happens. The people that work in factories are humans, and humans make mistakes. Same thing with your tech pack. So again, this is not ideal, but tech packs are, or at least they should be, really detailed documents, and there's a lot of places in the tech pack where something can go wrong. So there are a lot of small things that can add up to your first proto not being quite right, and there are a lot of ways to mitigate most of these things, and if we work together, I can help you. But hopefully this is helpful to kind of set expectations, and so if you get your first proto in and it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world, it's fixable and it's really common. So again, if you find this helpful, please subscribe to my channel. And if you're wondering maybe what is a tech pack, I have a link below to a free sample tech pack that can show you what an industry standard tech pack looks like and what I'm talking about.